Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 11th. We are just going to jump right in here, Capricorn, and see what is going on for you at this time. I'm going to pull 3 because that card also wanted to come out, so we're just going to take it. This is going to be part 1, and there will be a part 2 that is linked up in the description down below, and that'll be that. So let's see here. Again, Tower. Pretty much everyone for the past couple weeks has had the Tower. And literally last week, every single person except for one sign had the Tower. So like I said, I feel like there could be a collective Tower moment. Is it a bad thing? Probably not. But, I mean, you know, to me, the Tower is necessary. To me, it leads to a necessary change because things have been the same for too long. So, not a bad thing. But you start with this Leo card. It says shine on it. And you also have the Empress as well. I do feel like during times where, you know, we have collective Tower moments, it is important for people who are very successful like you, Capricorn. There could be a lot of success coming in for you, or, you know, there could be something good happening for you even during a time that is difficult, right? If something happens, or again, I mean, I think it's already difficult. I think it's already difficult enough right now for people to be surviving and living and all this other stuff, right? So if things are going well for you, I feel like it's super important that you not show off, but that you shine your light, that you kind of show people what is possible. So if you're doing something during these difficult times, again, let that stuff out. I've been talking about this for a long time, that I think the most spiritual thing people can be doing right now is being an example for other people, showing other people what is possible. It's like, of course, when you do that, there are people who aren't going to like it, right? The trolls are going to come out of the woodwork because you're showing them what is possible and they don't want to do the work. There are always going to be people like that. But the people that need to find you will. So it's a really important time to kind of shine your light. I would say any improvements, any good things that are happening for you, no matter how big or small, you know, kind of, again, being an example for other people is super important. You have the 3 of Wands, the Judgment card, and the Empress. I think you've been thinking about something for a long time. I just hear the words weighing heavily on my mind, or those are the words that are popping into my head right now, Capricorn, with the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands, as far as like something that has been weighing heavily on your mind, is something that you've been waiting to do. The 3 of Wands can represent waiting for your ships to come in, but it can also represent the opposite, because these ships are in the harbor. Here, he can represent a harbor master, but he might also want to go on those ships. He might be saying to himself, I want to go on a journey, and all he has to do is go out to those boats and get started. So I do feel that for a lot of you, that it's kind of more saying, like, what are you waiting for, right? And especially because of this right here. You have the Judgment card. The Judgment card asks you to answer your inner calling or your inner voice. These people are still standing in these coffins, and the coffin kind of represents their old life. They need to get out of the coffin. They need to step out of there, because the coffin is their old life, and basically outside the coffin is their new life. So they need to step out into their new world or whatever, to have some new experiences. And look at this middle row. You have the Judgment card, the Tower, and the World. The World is completion, but it's also like a birthing process and going to, you know, stepping into a new world. This right here, to me, is the most powerful combination in the tarot. The Judgment card and the Tower. To me, that is like a major significant wake-up call, or a major revelation, you know, a big change that you could be undergoing. But it could also just be like an aha moment. And a lot of people seem to be having those like aha moments right now. So if you have an aha moment where you're like, oh my God, like if something just clicks in your head, it could be about an idea that you have, it could be for a business or getting into a relationship, whatever it is you want to do, I would say that you should move towards the aha moment, because it's probably, you know, confirmation from the universe. Like I said, to me, the Judgment card and the Tower, it's like a big revelation. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. And even next, you have the Empress. The Empress can represent a lot of abundance, success, good things coming in for you. She actually is connected to the Tower. She has this waterfall behind her here. The waterfall kind of represents her connection to Source. It says that she understands that she comes from never-ending source, intelligence, and never-ending source abundance. So she understands that there is infinite amount of abundance in the universe, and that's why she is the symbol of abundance, because she is truly abundant. But at the bottom of the waterfall, if you were at the bottom of a waterfall, it represents like chaotic force. Things are getting tossed around at the bottom of a waterfall, and that's where the connection to the Tower comes in. And again, I do feel like these two cards here, right here, the Empress to the Tower, I do feel like there's a connection here. But you have the Four of Wands as your outcome for this diagonal. So, Four of Wands obviously is very, very positive. Next, you have this Claim Your Independence card, this cat card. So I do feel like you have to claim your independence, but I feel like it's a very specific type of independence that this card is talking about for you, Capricorn. I feel like it's referring to kind of like your life path or your life journey. I feel that this is more of a realization that you are having that things are not going to happen for you like they have for other people. So it's like if you're comparing your success to other people, I feel like you're starting to realize that the type of independence is that you're realizing that your story is not going to be exactly like someone else's. So it's, I feel like you're realizing that you have to kind of take control of your own story, basically, or how you accomplish something. And we even see that here with the Tower, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But you have the Four of Swords, the Tower, and the Eight of Cups here. The Tower is an important card. As I always say, I like the Tower. To me, the Tower has to fall for a reason. The reason is that those people inside the Tower, they've built the walls up around them too high, and they are ignoring reality. The reason the Tower falls is so that they can be brought back down to earth, so that they can be grounded in reality, so that they can see things for how they truly are. So they've been ignoring reality for too long, and that's why the Tower falls. I don't think you've been ignoring reality. I feel like this is more of just a change or a major wake-up call that you're having here with the Judgment card, or kind of like a major revelation. We even see here that, like I said, I feel like you've been waiting for answers. With that Three of Wands, it's like maybe you've been waiting for the next step, or you've been waiting for a person to show up in your life or whatever. I'm not saying that someone's going to show up, and maybe you've been waiting for money. I'm not saying that money is going to show up here. What I see here happening is more of an internal change, but again, I think that's where the changes start. Changes start internally, and then because we have an internal change, we have an external change, and that's what I believe is going on here. It's like maybe you've been praying for money or a job or whatever, but something much deeper is happening here. Again, I'm not trying to make this sound sensational, but literally, the Judgment card and the Tower is the most powerful combination in the tarot. So I feel like you're kind of having you're having this internal change that is going on in your life. And I feel like you're walking away from things with this Eight of Cups. We do have an eclipse at the end of the month, and so that's very interesting to me. It's also interesting that the Eight of Cups has been coming up quite a bit, actually, over the past couple weeks. So, it's definitely that like eclipse energy, and, we're kind of entering into this new time where I feel like things are going to be improving, or we could be manifesting things differently in our life. We could be creating new things in general. He's walking into darkness. He doesn't really know where he's walking. He doesn't know what he's going towards, but he's kind of decided to go on a new journey. He's decided that he needs a change. And that's kind of like what I feel for you here in this middle row as well, is that you're deciding that you need a change, that things need to change in your life. At the end here, you have this Grapes card. It says, time to go out and have fun. Love it. Again, things could have been too serious for too long, so now it's time to have fun. You have this Teardrops card. It says, great personal sorrow. And you have this Fan card. It says, romance, celebration, or a party. So there you go. I feel like it's time to focus on fun. Again, you might be feeling sad with this card here over certain things that have happened, but the other two cards are very happy. I just dropped one. And they're much more happy and much more kind of like abundant sounding. And so that's what I'd be focusing on if I were you, like much more that celebration energy, which we actually see right here. You have the Four of Wands, the World, and the Emperor. The Four of Wands is, of course, a card of marriage, but it's also a card of celebration. So clearly there is a celebration that you should be taking part in, or this could be like a reunion, a family reunion, a party, just having a good time with people in your life, whatever you want to call it. Here, Capricorn, I feel like you need to pay attention to the things that are going on around you, because I feel like there's like a lot of happiness and a lot of abundance coming in for you in general with the Four of Wands. But again, if you get invited to anything, if you feel like socializing, I would definitely do that. Even the World card can represent stepping out into the world. So I feel it'd be a good time to socialize, get out there, meet new people. By the way, two things here. You have the Empress and the Emperor right here down below. And I do feel like there could be a divine counterpart coming in for you if you are looking for love. I don't really see this necessarily as a love reading. And what I would say is I feel like some of you, if this is a love reading, I feel like it's a situationship that you're dealing with here. I'm not really sure how it's going to go. I feel like the choice is up to you. Because again, for some of you, it kind of looks like to me there could be a person who is trying to return to your life. Again, I don't do X-back readings. I think we should move on for the most part. Is it always true? Does it work out sometimes? Sure. Somebody always leaves me a comment about their grandpa who was on the Titanic, who lost his girlfriend, who broke up with them. They got back together. Blah blah blah. Right? I'm like, well, great. It's not 1920 any longer, right? We have Tinder and all this other stuff that ruins everything. So, what I would say here is, do it at your own risk, right, Capricorn? But could it work out? Of course. So, but I just don't like people, kind of holding on to false hope and things like that is what I'm trying to say here. And this looks like a very specific story to me. But what I'd say here is if you're in some sort of situationship, this could be kind of like some sort of change happening. For the most part, I feel like this is new love. 4 Wands is marriage. Could be an Aries, a Leo. Could be any sign coming in for you. It's a general reading, but Aries and Leo really stand out to me. Any of the fixed signs, really Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo, kind of stand out to me here at the end. But it could be love. The other thing I want to point out that's way more important than any relationship is this right here. This is extremely powerful, like I said at the beginning of the reading. Judgment, Tower, the world. This to me looks like you are being born into a new world. Again, the world to me is like being pushed through a portal, right? Kind of stepping through the other side. And so I feel for a lot of you, it's like kind of like you're grounding a new reality is what this looks like to me. And you're probably grounding this new reality after Judgment Tower, major revelation, major wake-up call. Like I said, I really feel like something is clicking here where it's like you're understanding something on a deeper level. If you've been working towards anything like a business, a job, a career, it looks like that's what's kind of clicking into place here. And I feel like the change to the Emperor energy is that you're just ready for action. I feel like you're just ready to take action on something that you've been thinking about for a long time. So this looks good. Part 2 is linked up in the description down below.